This video will help you understand the relationship between carbohydrates and diabetes. All food is made from different combinations of three nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The body needs each of these and digests them in different ways. Carbohydrates are the sugars and starches in food. When eaten, they break down into the type of sugar your cells need. Carbohydrates make blood sugar levels go up, whether you have diabetes or not. In someone with type 1 diabetes, the body does not make insulin, so they need insulin injections to move the blood sugar into the cells to make energy. Children with diabetes should eat the same healthy foods as other children. They do not have to be on a special diet. However, your child will need to balance the carbohydrates they eat with the right amount of insulin. Carbohydrate counting, also called carb counting. Carbs are measured in grams. For example, a 1-pound bag of sugar is equal to 453 grams of carbohydrates. 1 packet of sugar is equal to 4 grams of carbohydrates. So the number of grams tells you the amount of carbohydrates in the food. With type 1 diabetes, you will learn to count all the carbohydrates in each meal and snack to find out how much insulin to give your child. Some foods will have many carbs and will need a higher dose of insulin than others. For example, a pasta meal will require a higher dose of insulin than steak and a salad because pasta has more carbs. Even though pasta has more carbs, pasta can still be a healthy choice. How do you know how many carbohydrates are in a food? Many foods come with a label that shows the carbohydrate amount. Look for the nutrition facts label. You will need to read it carefully to know how many carbohydrates are in the amount of food your child eats. To figure out the carb amount from the food label, first find the serving size. All the other numbers on the label are based on this serving size. Then look at total carbohydrate. This is the grams of total carbohydrate in one serving. This number includes the grams of dietary fiber and sugar, so those do not need to be counted separately. Then ask, how many servings will my child eat? If it is more than 1 serving or less than 1 serving, you will need to multiply the number of servings times the total of carb per serving. For example, each slice of bread is 1 serving, so each slice has 15 grams of carbohydrates. If your child eats 2 slices, that will be 30 grams of carbohydrates. 15 grams plus 15 grams equals 30 grams. Let's practice with another example. Here is a box of cereal. Take a look at the nutrition label. How many carbohydrates are in 1 serving? If you said 20 grams per serving, you are correct. Now, let's say your child eats 2 servings. How many grams of carbohydrates would that be? You can use your calculator if you want. If you said 40 grams, you are correct because 20 plus 20 equals 40. How do you know how many carbohydrates are in foods without a label? You can usually find this information in books, on websites, and using mobile apps. If you have questions about carb counting, ask your diabetes team.